It's time, baby.
Let's get it.
Time.
Are we the
Welcome
biggest
in.
TGL podcast?
We actually might be, honestly, like on this planet. We might actively be the biggest TGL podcast on Earth. Welcome in to Getting the Hole Live, the TGL Championship. Watch along, KB. I'm Steve McAvoy. Welcome in to the underground for what's going to be an absolute wrecking ball of a show as round 2, possibly round 3, depending on how things go, against the New York Golf Club and the Atlanta Drive Golf Club on live on site at the SoFi Center. Absolutely insane. Recap of yesterday, New York Golf Club came down to the final hole, multiple hammer throws, but Atlanta pulls out a clutch big putt to close out round 1, take the win 6-5. New York looking to rebound here as the second round will take place starting right now at 7. And if necessary, in a decisive round 3, that will launch at 9. So we'll be here giving you all the action, giving you some live reaction as we watch it. And it's going to be absolutely amazing. New York just came out to run this town. They hear it coming in the air. Although, in my opinion, they should have came out to New York State of Mind, but that's just me. Really excited to get things going. And also, first live stream we get to have covering TGL, which is freaking dope.
Yeah, we got to do this more often next year.
Definitely. Now, I think as we're easing more into it and getting more used to the game, I think we're certainly seeing that TGL is here to stay. I mean, we talked about it multiple times throughout the year. Really high ratings early on, some lower ratings later on, but averaged about 500,000 views per week on average throughout 12 weeks, which is huge for the TGL. In their first year, well exceeded what ESPN was expecting, according to Josh Carpenter of the Sports Business Journal. He was talking all about how these ratings are comparing to other groups. I mean, hey, like they've been outpacing most college games that you've been watching over the year comparative to where they are in the slot. I do think TGL though can as of next year improve on when they play. I mean, we're seeing it now, right? Yesterday they played at 9. Today they have their 7 and 9. They've kind of flux between that 5 p.m., 7 p.m., 9 p.m. time slot on Monday or Tuesday. I think if they can come to an agreement and find one day every single Monday following the NFL season, following the college football playoff, every Monday, 9 p.m. is TGL. You get 2 hours. You watch till 11 o'clock. That's really, I think, where the TGL will shine if they can find consistency in their block and get people involved and engaged rather than splitting up across multiple time slots. Plus, the marketing needs to get better. I know you and I talked about it. I didn't see any marketing of the TGL outside of the ESPN network and ABC until I think probably like week 5 or 6. They started doing an ad read through Seth Greenberg on WFAN.
Yeah, they did a couple ads on Part of My Take as well, and then the only other ads I saw would be if I was watching ESPN. They had like the traditional ESPN, like kind of like lower third type of advertisements that would pop up. But other than that, TGO, we are full-fledged open to advertising this because if anybody, I said from the jump, and you were on board with me, but I brought it up from the jump. I said, we need to get into the TGL because I think it's going to be a hit. Yeah. And from somebody who has the opportunity to work very closely with people who are building an up-and-coming sports league in the PLL that work directly with ESPN, whenever you see reports, especially from the Sports Business Journal, saying that your league is outperforming expectations from ESPN, that is more than a great sign.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the beauty of this, and I know in passing we've talked about it before, but the whole point of the TGL when it was created was how can we get more eyes on the golf world? There's obviously a lot of division with LIV and the PGA, and and I think Ben brought it up, and he made a very strong point when he did a few months ago. This was truly a reaction to losing guys to LIV Golf and trying to keep more eyes on the PGA Tour. How can we get PGA Tour assets? I mean, look, remember Tyrrell Hatton and John Rahm were supposed to be a part of some of these teams, and they eventually got axed. But what's also come of this, while a direct reaction to LIV, We obviously had the hurricane, took a year time off. We had to avoid TGL. They had to rebuild the whole stadium. So that got delayed. But with the delay, I think also grew anticipation and excitement. We kind of forgot about it for about 9 months. But once back into the limelight, we had 3 months to go and we ramped up to it. It really did draw a very interesting crowd. And it got almost it got a level of excitement that we haven't seen a lot in golf. It's a new technology. It's a new way of playing the game. Scott Van Pelt just talked to Keegan Bradley about it. He was talking about how can you take the game and move it inside? Like Scott SCP was talking about the idea of hitting balls into a screen. It took Keegan Bradley like 1,000 shots in order to get him used to it. As we kick off the opening shot of the second round, Justin Thomas will take the opening tee shot. The whole premise of TGL, we added in getting some great stuff from Tiger's consistency in golf. We haven't seen him in a long time. The Tiger versus Rory rivalry coming to life when Jupiter would play against Boston. You're seeing a lot of other different the investments that are getting involved. And the beauty of what TGL has done, it's also brought on new leagues as well outside of even just the TGL. I know you and I mentioned the Grass Clippings League or the Grass League is starting up out in Arizona. It's par 3 golf, a lot of amateurs, some pros that are getting involved in that. Like those
another league that we're going to be heavily covering.
And that'll be covered on Peacock?
I believe, yeah, it's NBC Sports and it's streamed on Peacock, but it's like NBC Sports will be posting stuff and we'll be covering it. So,
and that's perfect because now again you're adding on the momentum to golf already. As we've seen, didn't Good just also get a huge investment deal? Like these other YouTube golf brands are getting involved in leagues like this, in the Grass League, in TGL, and it's just making the product of golf better overall. And I think that's something that we've been missing out on for a long time.
Yeah, and I mean, you've seen what some of the pioneers of the internet golf world, like the Foreplay guys, and what they've done to, from where Riggs took that as what he likes to call the all-time boondoggle of golfing for a living and building it into a literal golf media empire where yes, Foreplay is under the Barstool banner, but they're their own operation. They want to hire somebody, they hire them. That's why Dan Rappaport worked for them for a few years. That's why they go and get somebody like Beef to be, their PGA Tour, certified. I forget what his title is, groundsman or local course pro. They pave the way so that you have the good goods, you have the country club adjacents, you have all of these brands that allow the professional level to spawn out like this with the TGL, like the Grass League and stuff like that. And, World Long Drive and stuff like that. So it's very cool. I've been very impressed by the way that the TGL has really sparked. And like you said, I hope they just continue to market more and more. And I hope that because I also think it's interesting that they don't necessarily have owners for the teams, obviously, like a traditional sports league would.
Yeah.
You see the people who are partners and investors in the league and in teams and stuff like that. But if they wanted to and they had the interest, they could expand to other quote unquote cities and have other teams involved moving forward. It's going to be fascinating if we get expansion teams next year.
And I think with expansion teams coming along too, and again, there's markets to tap into that they're able to work with. Think about even in our backyard, right? We have Philadelphia. You could tap into. There's going to probably end up being a team down in Texas. We have Jupiter, Florida, but what's going to stop them from making a second team? Maybe in Miami. Mm-hmm. And not to mention too, the opportunity cost of Tiger Woods trying to add on expansion locations to play the game. You're going to add, most likely to make it more accessible to players week in and week out on the PGA Tour calendar. You can build a facility in LA. You already have the facility in Florida. So now the California swing is taken care of. The Florida swing is taken care of. You might set up a house in Texas. You might even go to New York City. Think about the opportunity, right? That you can build something out of. I mean, I don't want to throw ideas out that aren't possible. But when you look at some markets like a New York City to possibly place a TGL location, where would you put it? You could put it somewhere. You could build it probably like in the basement of somewhere in Manhattan, like a theater, where you can make something out of nothing. There's a lot of opportunity that you can grow with this league, and I think it really makes a fascinating value proposition that we don't see in a lot of other sports.
Unlucky lip.
Oh yeah.
Oof. We also talked about it one of the weeks that you were out. Like I brought it up, or Ben brought it up. Making one in Arizona.
Yeah, exactly. Like Scottsdale. And I think also too, you can have these events and you can have TGL in as a microcosm of itself. You don't need to go to gigantic cities, and you could travel anywhere. I mean, hey, there was a report today that that Rory McIlroy is playing in the Houston Open this week, right?
Mm-hmm.
And prior to his trip to Houston, he stopped at Augusta National and played around the golf as a scouting trip for the Masters. You're telling me that like these guys who are playing in California can't just slip right out to go to Scottsdale, or they're playing in Texas? They all have private jet deals for the most part. A lot of the guys that are within the TGL, they can make it happen.
Plus,
I think
not to cut you off, plus if you add a West Coast location, like facility wise, you introduce the optics of like conferences, which would be sick, and get that more traditional sports league feel where like going into the playoffs, like you finish top, you win your conference, and that gives you, a nice little banner to add to your trophy case for these TGL teams. Like you already have New York, Atlanta, you have the Bay, you have LA. Like there's a way to build out conferences too if you add more, not only facilities but also add, the expansion teams potentially. You have, 2 conferences, 4 teams each, something like that. You add a team here and there, and then your West Coast conference matches happen at the West Coast facility. Your East Coast ones happen at the East Coast, and then intra-squad you potentially either have a neutral site somewhere or you have a home and home type thing. Like there's a lot of potential with the TGL, and that's what I love about new sports leagues. From covering the PLL since they started, there's a lot that I've been able to just be like up close and personal with all of that. And like literally like new sports leagues that come into the fold, like the coolest thing is like they can literally try whatever they want.
Exactly,
because there's no rules.
And it's completely uncharted territory that you can operate in. So you have the ability to do things that are completely different. And golf is great because you can do something like this. I mean, like simulator golf has gotten so big post COVID, with the ability to go and play anywhere. You can't simply like with basketball, you can't just simply do outdoor basketball. Because now there's lights and there's glare, and like there have been cool things that the NBA and the college game have done. Like I remember when UNC used to play on the aircraft carrier, like really cool, but a short-lived idea because it's moving at sea and you're on an aircraft carrier.
Right.
Like you can't bring baseball inside. You can't bring football inside. You could do arena football, but you can't house a football field. Golf is so different because the ability of simulators can go so much further than any other sport. And I think that's what makes the game so great. I've been saying this about soccer for a long time. Like, put soccer players on an indoor court, like a futsal court, and it would get you millions of views. They haven't done it yet, but that's what makes some of these sports unique. And to be able to expose some of these opportunities is immense.
Why did I not know Best Buy was a sponsor of the TGL?
To be honest, I didn't know either. Also, my ESPN is now down for some reason, which is absolutely perfect. Can I ask you for your television provider so I can log in? Because I've been kicked off of my provider.
I don't know the login for my television provider simply because it's under my parents' name. But it is Xfinity, so I don't even know if it would
Xfinity log in for you. Xfinity is available on. I just gotta log in on my computer with a cable provider, like a user password.
I wonder if
you can provide that. I would be extremely grateful.
Let me see. I'll put it in the private chat and see if my credentials work for it.
I appreciate that. While we're working to get that underway, I do want to give a shout out to some of our partners in the golf space who are able to keep us thriving within this space, namely Devereux Golf, a new group that's joined us on the pod. Really excited to have them on. I've been hyping this brand up for 3 or 4 years now. I remember talking way back when to Raymond Williams, Golf Project. He works for Scratch now, who's by the way, has been doing some incredible things on the
featured us.
Space of golf featured us. That his whole thing was like who are the brands who are disrupting the space, disruptors and major players, and he mentioned Devereux Golf, and immediately jumped off the page. I was like, yes, this is a brand that I would love to get involved with. And lo and behold, here we are now with Devereux. Check the link in our descriptions. We'll try and link something up here as well on the feed, so you can tap in. You can get some discounts through Devereux and be able to
code welcome15. Welcome15.
Thank you, welcome15. As I cannot get anything on my computer because everything is slow as crap today. Absolutely terrible.
Yeah, the links are in the description of the live stream already. It's code welcome15 for 15% off your first purchase from Devereux.
That was just great podcasting for me.
That was filibustering at its finest.
Just me like struggling to create words. It's like in ninth grade.
I have $3.
You had your first presentation when you were like when you were in like ninth grade, and
yes,
you're just trying to like get through with your words. Oh Christ alive! All right, let's see if this worked. I'm hoping to God this worked. Mr. Bennett, no, I do not want to open the Xfinity app. Don't ask me again.
Oh, it's going to ask me to do it.
Oh, yeah, open the Xfinity app to approve this sign-in.
Did you sign in from a new device?
You're an angel, by the way.
Give me 1 second. I thought it would let me do it from the email.
On a different note, the Patriots just signed Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, now all those delusional Patriots fans and radio personalities can shut the hell up about A.J. Brown going to the Patriots.
Pat Pitts and Ethan.
Oh, my days. No, like even their radio hosts on like literal like well-known radio stations, like radio station shows in Boston.
They're all clamoring.
Continually talking about how, oh, Mike Vrabel and A.J. Brown are really close. Who gives a fuck? Jalen Hurts is A.J. Brown's daughter's godfather.
So to get you guys up to speed after our long soliloquy all about the world of TGL, we're through one hole. The hammer's been thrown on the second hole here. We're not up at zeros. The hammer's down. It looks like New York will accept the hammer. It's Schauffele, Young, and Fowler against Cantlay, Horschel, and JT in this second round, which means that Matt Fitzpatrick and Lucas Glover will take the bench in the second round match. We'll see how things progress here as they're on the green. Looks like Billy Ho to putt. He's furthest from the hole, and the hammer's been accepted. Here we go. So let's see if Billy Ho can knock in the big one and make things happen.
I was hoping I also had put a live future on him to win without at last week's event because I had I got the $5 bonus bet from the tournament.
All right, here we go. Horschel missed the putt. I think it's Ricky's putt. If he makes it, they go up a big 2-0. This network is not included in your current Xfinity users. Fuck. Damn. I mean, I have it on the TV, but it's like 30 feet away from me.
Yeah.
So I'm like watching from afar. Ricky to take a 2-0 lead. Oh, and he misses it.
Real ones know #Ricky boys.
Sorry, by the way, that was Cam Young. So like death taxes and Cam Young outrights are the biggest waste of money on planet Earth.
Can we also just talk about how Arthur Blank is one of the greatest sports owners of all time?
Truly.
Like, what a guy.
You know, it's it's crazy too, like the ownership groups that are in the TGL and that are involved. By the way, you want to talk about like great owners of sports. Like Arthur Blank's a great example of that. You know who would actually are they interviewing Matt Ryan?
That they are.
Yeah, it's the Matt Ryan. Again, I'm like 25 people on TV. What would be a sick franchise expansion?
What's that?
A team in Denver and the Cronkies get involved. Now the Cronkies own everything in the Denver area.
I could see that. I'm also does he not have anything with LA? Because I know he has the Rams.
Let's see.
So I don't know if he's part of LA Golf Club or anything.
Stanley Kroenke. Let's see who he. Well, so he owns Arsenal and he owns the Avalanche, the Nuggets, the Rapids, the Mammoth. He owns the LA Gladiators and the LA Gorillas. He owns the LA Gorillas are a Call of Duty league.
Mm-hmm.
He owns Arsenal. He owns everything.
He owns so many teams, dude.
Does Kroenke Sports and Entertainment?
What would it be? TGL Investors?
Yeah, it doesn't seem like they own any TGL team now.
No. Yeah, because the main investors are Fenway, Uncle Stevie, Arthur Blank, Mark Lassery,
and then Tiger,
and Alex Onanian and Serena and Venus Williams.
Yeah,
they're LA's investor.
Yeah, so I mean,
and I didn't know this. The Antetokounmpo brothers are minority or limited partners in LA.
Yeah. So is Alex Morgan, so is Michelle Wee. There are others too that are involved.
I'm so happy I just saw who was involved with Jupiter. I can't root for Jupiter Lynx.
Dave Blitzer?
Yep, can't do it. Can't do it. If you know, you know. Can't do it.
Wasn't that the same reason why you couldn't support one of the
Crystal Palace? Yep.
God, just absolute hatred.
Jimmy Fallon is a investor in New York.
Who is?
Jimmy Fallon.
I mean, it makes sense.
Jeter, Eli, Jimmy Fallon, John McEnroe, Michael Strahan, and CeCe Sabathia.
Dude, CeCe's amazing.
He's awesome.
I think I think Lewis Hamilton is invested in, I believe, the LA team, if I'm not wrong, as like a minority. I gotta check and see who.
So initial investors include Steph Curry, Andre Iguodala, Shaq, Dwayne Wade, Kevin Durant, Lewis Hamilton, Alex Morgan, Shohei Ohtani, and Mike Trout, Josh Allen, Serena Williams, Diana Taurasi, Venus Williams, Justin Timberlake, Michael Rubin, and Liberty Media CEO Greg Maffei.
Yeah,
he's the chairman of Live Nation.
And also SiriusXM and TripAdvisor and all these other insane companies. I think he also like founded Stars and like Expedia, which is like insane.
He was also the former chief financial officer of Oracle and Microsoft.
My God. So sometimes I see these like things about like people and the ventures that they're part of, like even like reading off the Cronkies like ownership group. Like it's amazing how people are this like absolute genius and can create something like this. And I think it's wild that like Bill Simmons created the Ringer. Like that's that in and of itself is amazing. But like to see these like these major executives come out with these gigantic ownership teams is just nuts. By the way, I actually just found this out. One of the companies that was involved in the design of TGL holes, the 3D renderings, was Jack Nicklaus's golf group.
That's sick.
His architects who do the 3D mapping of all the Nicklaus like golf courses also helped in creating this, which is wild. All right, so where are we at? So we're still knotted up at 0. Xander to putt. This is for birdie. Come on, go. Go. Oh, it's way off.
Oof. That did not break at all.
The casual great shot, Xander, from Ricky. meanwhile, 8 feet left, just didn't break it.
Also, if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to subscribe. We got a nice little viewership going right now. Subscribe, leave a like on the video. It helps us get into the algorithm while we're live and helps more people find our YouTube channel as well. So be sure to subscribe. Plus, if you want to interact with us in the chat, got to be subscribed.
Big chance for JT. No. 3 holes down. We're still tied at 0. This is getting good already. New York needs a big win here. Also, we haven't even talked about this, right? Like the beauty of what TGL brings. And speaking about this this backhanded Ricky comment to Xander, like the communication between guys and getting to like hear their takes and like their thoughts on things is really a great asset. As Steve Cohen flashes the screen. Shout out to Uncle Stevie. Talk about a guy that I would love to like get dinner with and pick his brain on all things. And I'd probably give him a lot of shit for creating this Juan Soto documentary. It's embarrassing. But like the communication that we get, and JT's mentioned it in a memo to the PGA Tour membership, and other guys have mentioned it, like trying to get more and become more entertainers than golfers. But we know the reality of golf when you're playing for millions of dollars. It's challenging to be able to kind of get out of your own head when you're on the golf course and you're focusing on your play when that's truly your living. I like how TGL, they're not in it for the money. They're there to have fun. They're there to grow the game, which is really the most important thing, growing the game. I would love to also see in the future, now as the TGL grows and expands, possibly a partnership with the LPGA, partnership with Live if they manage to get this merger through with the PIF. Would love to see those other big names play, but also see some of the women have a female per team, get those big names involved, grow the overall game. Maybe you create a TGL national tournament, America versus England versus like every country, kind of like the Olympics, but in TGL format. Men and women would be an awesome event to have, and you can keep the standings as well. Plus the multiple sites, like we said, in terms of looking broad term, to be able to create an overall league where there are more than just these few teams, and you can have like startup teams. You have these wild cards that came in. Nick Dunlap played a round. Tony Finau played one for LA. Those are some really cool like starting out pieces in order to create a new atmosphere of golf that could be really beneficial and different from everything else.
It would also be sick if, like you said, with the women's potential involvement too, if that were to come to be, just have, you have New York Golf Club, but then have your women's New York Golf Club, very similar to soccer,
yeah.
Like, and have like they're the same entity. It's just your men's brand and your women's brand, and then they compete together or something like that. Like that would be cool.
The one thing I'd say to that though is I would appreciate it being able to mesh both the men and the women. Not to say like skill sets are different, of course. And the men do obviously routinely hit it further than the women, but to be able to have that mix, I think one of the coolest events that no one really talks about every year is the Grant Thornton Invitational, when you have usually an LPGA and a PGA player together playing in a tandem as a duo. I think it's really cool to be able to mesh those two styles and the way they approach the games very differently. I mentioned it a lot with how women's sports, particularly like basketball, there's a lot less bumping. There's a lot more higher set skill on dribbling ability. In hockey, you can't check. So there's a lot more emphasis on your ability to deke and move around with the puck. The games, while it doesn't seem very different for the men and the women, there are different ways of approaching things and looking at the way you play, particularly from different distances, that I think makes the game more interesting. And to be able to mesh that, it's also one of the few sports where, of course, it's not contact. So you have the opportunity to mesh the men and the women. Whereas if you were to do that in basketball or in soccer, it would be a little more challenging. I would love to see an opportunity where we can mesh the LPGA, the PGA, and then also, of course, get on Live eventually down the line, even DP World Tour, and make this more of an international game rather than just here in the States.
100%. Like, I think the TGL is one of the most innovative, like, new implementations to professional sports. Genuinely think it is one of the coolest things that now we're sitting here like watching and commentating on the championship happening. Like, who would have thought like 9 months ago when, you know, it was like ramping back up after it went dormant for a year because of the hurricane damage to the SoFi Center, like that we would be sitting here with like a championship on ESPN like this to this magnitude. Like, I think it's so sick that like not only has it gone an entire, you know, so many startup sports leagues don't even last.
Oh, sorry.
No, I'm a smidge behind you. I just saw it.
JT almost hit a rocket drive right into the water.
Bit
would have been absolutely huge.
No, like most startup sports leagues don't even last this long.
Yeah.
Like some of them fold mid first season.
Don't want to laugh? I was talking to some coworkers today at lunch. We were talking about because the New York Dragons just relaunched the arena football team.
Yeah,
and
shout out my guy Peter Schwartz.
I found out that the Arena Football League, this is its third iteration of the Arena Football League. It was Arena Football League 1, now it's AFL 2. Now there's apparently 2 offshoot split AFLs, and then we joked about like the LFL and the Legends Football League, now called the Extreme Football League. I don't know what's so extreme about it outside of women in lingerie, but we're talking about like the AFL, and one of my coworkers is from Delaware, so he's like kind of like a Philadelphia guy, and he's like, yeah, the Philadelphia, I think it was the Soul was their name. They folded after 2 games.
Yep, it was crazy. It was crazy what happened. They weren't playing their games in Philadelphia with the new like revival of it. They were playing in Trenton, and they were not paying for the guys' hotels. So guys were getting stuck with hotel bills that they were going to be unaware of.
Yep.
Like it was insane. And, you know, on top of that too, like remember the cornhole league that we were like trying to get in like boots on the ground with. And I went to the launch of the Philadelphia team and like learning how much it cost for you to be an owner in that league was like preposterous to me. And then one of the teams folded mid-season, and then they didn't even last the rest of the year.
Yeah, I mean, hey, the same thing with we were talking about how cool it would be to sponsor a grass league team, and then we're like, whoa, like bonkers.
We need some partners.
Partners, bro. We need like a small village to like the city of Vineland needs to get some backing on this bad boy. No, like it's actually insane. And again, like the Philadelphia Soul lasted 2 games. Who knows how long the New York Dragons are going to last? They're going to play it back in the Coliseum where they are. That the XFL goes through their like 9-month spurts. The UFL is managed, or the USFL has managed to survive a little bit. But like again, the viewership numbers are in the tank. They're getting less than 100,000 views on things like that. Like that's less viewership than ESPN the Ocho gets when they're on TV that one day a year. Like at least TGL is putting up a number where it's respectable and you can see further growth, right? If a Duke basketball game, a Cooper Flag on ESPN2 is topping out at 730,000 views, I think 500,000 on average for a golf event in prime time, that's a pretty damn good number when all things are considered. The hope should be obviously that it'll grow. And if you look at the numbers, it did fall off a bit after the 4th week, after kind of everything got regulated, and we're like, all right, like this is a thing that's like here. But now I'm hopefully the finals, the gravitas around it, the idea, hey, we're going to crown our first TGL champion. That's a really cool idea. If the viewership spikes from this, and maybe there's some change ups in the way the teams are, because after the regular season, it seems like there was a bit of a parity lack in some of the teams. Some were just way better than others. It'd be cool to see other players enter the team over time. You expand rosters, you create an A team and a B team, you add more teams, there's a relegation to it. Like, it'd be really cool to see this expand further. And it's a really good start for a league that, again, was a complete reaction to Live Golf at the time, and now has managed to become something other than sitting in the shadow of, we're trying to counteract something else.
Yeah, it's going to be fascinating once this season ends to see like how they approach it. Like, is there going to be, roster shuffling, like you said? Will we get TGL free agency at any point? Sick. That'd be really cool. And like the other players that, it's essentially, I know I always bring up the PLO when we talk about new leagues and stuff, but it's the most direct comparison that I have a lot of information about. Like, it's almost like we have a player pool, just like the PLL does, which is your free agency, like guys that aren't necessarily on teams and are available. So if you get expansion, say somebody drops out, you don't feel like they fit your team all that well, you add somebody from the player pool to your roster. Like, it would be sick if we did get some sort of free agency or a draft or something like that. Like, that would be really cool.
Yeah, no, I mean, hey, look, if Live Golf can do it, I'm sure the TGL can, and I'm sure there's definitely interest or widespread interest in guys potentially joining the TGL. I mean, just look at the top players in the world and who's not involved in this league, right? Like, you can have a situation where you can add a Corey Connors to the league, you can add a Sepp Straka to the league. Akshay Bhatia might want to get involved. We already saw Finau and Nick Dunlap and Jordan Spieth, Victor Hovland. There are names here that can definitely turn some heads. And I think if you're able to bring that in, I mean, like, is Kevin Kisner going to be on this much longer? I don't know. Like he's starting to go towards NBC and be a pundit. Maybe that's an avenue to open up. Lucas Glover, the other elder statesman in the room, is he going to be around for a very long time? We don't know. So to be able to bring in other guys and possibly some young players too, like Will Zalatoris, also not involved in the league. There's like Thagala is. There's a lot of different names that you can easily plug and play and try and get some added interest. And hey, you know what? We talked about it a couple weeks ago on the show. There's amateurs right now that are entering the PGA Tour that, to give them a shot and get them more recognition as they become a rookie on tour, like a Luke Clanton, who's going to become a PGA Tour member full time after the NCAA championships in June. That's an opportunity for someone to get their feet wet and be like, hey, this is my homecoming, basically, and my way of introducing myself to the larger world. And what better way to do it than in prime time on the Worldwide Leader?
100%.
Also, Marty Smith is
Marty Smith is the man.
He's absolutely amazing.
Also, there are 2 of these inaugural season TGL posters left on their website. 2 questions for you. Number 1, should I buy one? Number 2, do you think they'll restock them?
Third question for you, should we buy one anyways and give it away?
Should I buy the last 2 since it's 2 left?
I think it's a buy.
Stand by.
Stand by.
Oh, there's only 1 left. I have to buy the one.
Shit. Someone's watching this stream and is like, right. I'm gonna stream snipe you guys. Screw you. I'm buying one of them.
Let me add my hat to the cart so I get free shipping.
Kay's gonna hate me if I buy a New York Golf Club tumbler. There's so many cups in this house. So, by the way, we this has nothing to do with the TGL, but we had to talk about this because you wanted to wait till stream. Media day on Thursday at the Philly Cricket Club for the Truist. What are you wearing? And should we make sure that we match?
So right now, the tentative. Also, I got the poster.
Amazing.
Tentatively wearing my no free ads Perry Ellis navy blue dress pants that I got at Marshall's for $10. These brown Nunbush dress shoes that I will also be bringing sneakers with me in my vehicle so I can switch to them after so we can gallivant across the city of Philadelphia together. Because if you didn't know, Steve and I are actually going on a boys' date all day Thursday.
Kay asked me, she goes, when are you coming home? Or like are you gonna be out all night? I said, about all night. She was like, damn, ditching me for KB? I said, maybe.
So yeah, we're doing the navy blue pants, these brown dress shoes, and then I'm still figuring out the top. Oh, what a miss. That sucks. But very on brand.
So on brand.
Figuring out the top, still not 100% certain, but do you want to hear one of the all-time finds that I got today while I was out after work?
Let's hear it.
So I went to Boscov's on a whim today.
Goated.
Walk in. Number one, they had like a fall clearance rack that had a like almost Phillies powder blue color sweater. $60 on the price tag. On sale for $9.99.
No shot.
Swear to God.
That's absolutely huge, dude.
On top of that, that's not even the best sale of the day at the old Boscov's. I walk over to the men's department area, and they have sport jackets all around. And I'm like, that'd be kind of nice to have something like in my wardrobe, like if I'm going somewhere and, you know, just throw something on that's like nice, but it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
And they have this Blaine, I think his name's Blaine Thomas or something like that. He's like the outfitter, collab with Steve Harvey. But it's not like extravagant Steve Harvey like that he would wear. But like you can tell like Steve Harvey had some influence on like the design. Like it's cool design.
It's
like
modest.
The insides of the jacket have like almost like a wave pattern, and it came with a pocket square.
That's elite.
Steve, this jacket MSRP was $299.
You got it for like 60.
I'll do you one better. I got it for $39.
My goodness, where are you, dude? Like, where's there's no Boscov's by me, but like, my goodness,
incredible.
Talk about a deal, dude.
$39 for a essentially $300 sport coat.
Also, like, I high key need one of these Minwoo Lee tees.
They're so sick.
Dr. Chapinski. Got to give appreciation. All right, so fifth hole had a huge putt from JT to keep it knotted at 0. Cantley just hit a frozen rope.
Oof. Also, I was today years old when I realized Kyle Porter left CBS.
Really? Where's he now?
Yeah, he is he's self-owned newsletter.
Good for Kyle Porter.
It is
the normalist of sports.
That's what it's called too. I think it's called Normal Sport is the newsletter. Shout out Kyle Porter. Always welcome on the program. Yeah, Normal Sport.
All right, Cam Young. Doing something for the brand.
Yeah, he left CBS in October.
Oh wow, that's actually a long time ago. I'm surprised to hear that. So I think my trying to figure out what polo I want to get for New York Golf Club. And also, is it worth me getting any other team, or is that just me me being anti Homer? Even though I really want something from Boston Common, because the lily pad is just a great
the
logo.
lily pad logo is all time.
I appreciate the New York Golf Club visor looking like Keith Mitchell.
Yes.
Now, do I buy the Flag and Anthem polo, or do I go, oh, they don't have the Grayson one anymore. It must be sold out. They have a Johnny O one that's pretty cool, but it's $127. Oh no.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Affordability is at a premium here, fellas.
Yeah. Whenever I see the word Antigua, I'm just like, yep, put that one down, Kyle. They sell Antigua Phillies golf shirts in their team store, and I'm like, yeah, I'm never affording one of those.
No, never. Big shot here for Xander. Let's see what we could do. The one thing I will say is the TGL can certainly improve on the music choices that they play within the arena. They're currently playing Wild Ones by Flowrider. They could definitely do a little bit better on the musical choices. But Xander plops it right middle of the green. Perfect shot.
All right, here's a fun question. And if you're in the chat and want to chime in as well, please do so. So on the TGL's Wikipedia, there's the list of the players who currently are or who have participated in at least one TGL event, which are the obvious suspects: Aber, Keegan Bradley, Patrick Cantlay, Wyndham Clark, Matt Fitzpatrick, Tommy Fleetwood, Ricky Fowler, Lucas Glover, Max Homa, Billy Horschel, Tom Kim, Kevin Kisner, Minwoo Lee, Shane Lowry, Hideki Matsuyama, Rory, Colin, Justin Rose, Xander, Adam Scott, Tagala, Justin Thomas, Tiger Woods, Cam Young. We obviously know that Tony Finau has also participated, and some others, but say there's 2 expansion teams in the TGL next year. We get to 8. What 4 golfers are you putting on said expansion teams? And let's say it's, and looking at the teams, obviously, so we have Atlanta, Boston, Jupiter Links, which is Florida, New York, that's kind of your East Coast right now. And then you have the Bay, LA, as well. Do you just do 2 expansions out west? Do you do one on the East Coast?
I think for starters, I think you would definitely need to go out west. And I think you can make
Arizona.
At that point, you can make divisions.
Yes.
New York, Boston, Atlanta, Florida is your Eastern division. Your Western division would probably be everything west of the Mississippi. Probably a team in Dallas. Dallas is the 4th biggest market in the country. So right there, that automatically shouts.
So I was going to say you do Vegas. Arizona. Vegas is definitely something you could do.
Arizona,
and then pulling from PLL lore, the Carolina Chaos are technically in the Western Conference of the PLL, and I loved the reasoning from Paul Rabel when they announced that they were in the Western Conference. The first reasoning was at one point the Charlotte Hornets were in the Western Conference of the NBA, and then at one point North Carolina was the furthest west of any collegiate lacrosse championship winner.
I think,
which I was going to say, like, the Carolinas make sense too as an expansion spot potentially,
as a major golf hub in the country. I mean, I think at the end of the day, you're going to have to. I mean, look, they clearly didn't care much about where exactly that they're located because of the idea that they went for Jupiter. Also sort of helps that they have Tiger, who's based in Jupiter.
I was going to say it's more based on who the owner is.
Yeah, so like that's also the caveat too, is like who would be out in Vegas, who would be in Dallas? Would Mark Cuban,
Mark Davis,
would Mark Cuban or Mark Davis own a team? The Kroenke makes sense in Denver, right?
mm-hmm.
Arizona, who's the primary big time names? Like, is it Matasheba?
Yes, he's the Phoenix Suns.
I mean, if LA is Serena and the Bay is like Curry and that whole group, like
and Mark Lassery,
like does Steve Ballmer want to get involved somewhere? Maybe go to Arizona. Like you could.
I was also going to say, like, depending on how much longer he's there, but you know, he's currently with the Phoenix Suns. Like Kevin Durant's an investor in the league.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if he's even going to be there for that long.
But I don't even think it matters for KD, because even like KD's a Maryland sports fan and a DC sports fan, but he's also a minority owner of the Philadelphia Union.
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, the easy answer is to do 2 teams out west. If you can get an ownership group in Arizona, you can get like a Matasheba on, then that could work. Maybe even Steve Ballmer, because LA to there, it's not a huge change of scenery per se. But also like San Francisco doesn't really have like a big like golf culture out there. Like
Steph Curry is that.
Yeah. Like he's really the base of it. I would say Denver is one. And probably Texas, because I think Texas does give you it's a main golf city, it's a hub. You could certainly get people who are involved in that area. Like I said, a Mark Cuban is certainly after selling off his entire stake now in the Mavericks, might be looking to do something a little bit more off hands and not as immersive. Could certainly be a thing. Plus, also the guys who could play in Texas, think of it as like a live golf team, right? Like a lot of like live golf teams are. A lot of countrymen play together, a lot of guys from the same area. Like I know Sergio's team, the Fireballs, they're almost all exclusively Spanish. Was also a largely South American Colombian team. I believe that's Joaquin Neiman's team. It's I think Sebastian Munoz, him and Mito, who are from Chile and somewhere else. I would say if you were to do a Texas team would certainly work, and a Denver based team. Who would go on those teams? First of all, if you're going to go to Texas, I think Scotty Scheffler's got to be your anchor. Victor Hovland played golf at OK State. That certainly fits as a expansion there. Trying to think like who else would fit in that like kind of market. Akshay is a West Coast guy, but he might be intrigued. That would be a really, really good team. Would love to see Jason Day get involved. Sam Burns went to college at LSU. Could be of interest for him. I think Finau is going to get involved. Can
I also present another potential non-traditional but would make a lot of sense, because I know the rumblings around them trying to become like essentially the new Austin. Utah is a place as well.
Yeah, so the same ownership group who owns the Utah Hockey Club, who, by the way, actually they just got a new they just added on the trademark for the mammoth and the colorway, which will be the same as what they currently have, and they have a logo. They've extended the trademark on it, but have ceased the trademark extension on the Utah Hockey Club as well as the Outlaws, which like the Utah Mammoth is a freaking dope name. But
that's the Colorado Mammoth, owned by the aforementioned Steve Kroenke, or the Kroenke ownership. They're not too thrilled. I'll tell you that much.
I mean, yes, but look, I mean, hey, we have multiple Rangers, we have multiple Cardinals. Like, there's a lot of different.
I think it's just the proximity thing. Is like Utah and Colorado are so close to each other, but and they're both like indoor sports.
I think Utah does certainly fit the mold,
especially because they have the entire Utah Sports Commission, which, if you don't know what that is, like that's like Utah's like big push to like bring professional sports to Salt Lake City and to Utah in general. And like the Utah Archers and the PLL just won the Utah Sports Commission like Team of the Year. I think it's the National Women's Soccer League have a team in Utah. The Utah Hockey Club is there. Utah Jazz are there. And the guy who's the owner, and I'm blanking on his name, of the Utah Hockey Club, like massive sports guy. like very in on anything and everything that has to do with sports and bringing them to Utah. And I say that because Tony Finau was born in Salt Lake City.
Yeah, so that also certainly fits. Actually, I found an article from the Herald Tribune that was recently posted, interviewing the Tomorrow Sports CEO Mike McCarley. He said there isn't a timeline on expansion. However, there have been ownership groups to express interest in the Phoenix, Scottsdale area, Las Vegas, and Dallas. They're also expecting, like we had mentioned earlier, a possible build out of a West Coast center. That's multiple years down the road. There has been players who have apparently thrown their hats in the ring to want to get involved. I mean, maybe again, we've seen Finau and Dunlap. Jason Day wants to take a crack at it, as I mentioned earlier. Camilo Villegas is another name that's there. Eric Van Rooyen, Keith Mitchell, Austin Eckroat. There's other guys who live in those areas who'd be interested in playing. And also, if you don't remember this, I think 2 weeks ago, Brooks Koepka was seen at the facility in Palm Beach Gardens getting a little bit of an eyeball on things. I mean, we don't know what the deal is with Liv, of course, but with the bring in of Liv Golf to see a Brooks Koepka get involved in maybe a Phoenix club. I mean, Bryson went to college down at SMU. He's a Texas guy at heart. That could certainly fit. I would love this, and I mean, it would be way too overpowered, but to see a Texas club, right, that is Jason Day would kind of fit in, or he'd probably be more Phoenix based. But Scotty, Bryson, maybe you throw in like Austin Eckroat's from Texas. He played his college golf, I believe, down in that area. And Keith Mitchell's a Georgia guy. He could probably go out west a little bit. There's a lot of names that could definitely fit and could make a lot of sense, which would be really cool.
And I do apologize to Ryan Smith. He's the owner of the Utah Hockey Club and very involved with the Utah Sports Commission and everything.
New York is taking a 1-0 lead. Steve Cohen is excited.
The other team I forgot, they have Real Salt Lake in Major League Soccer.
Oh my God, there's so many
teams.
That's
there too. Yeah. That Ryan Smith is also an co-owner with.
So yeah, exactly. So there's opportunity to go to Utah. It would make sense. I mean, Finau to get his own club. I mean, look, like Liv Golf made it a thing that John Rahm wanted his own team, and he got it. So why can't they do the same for TGL if they can get people involved in things? I think also like it's not a market that's in dire need of golf per se, but we've been manifesting this idea of a return to Seattle for basketball. Like I'm sure somebody's gnawing at the bit. Like Bandon is right there in Oregon, very close to the border of Washington and Seattle. Like I could definitely see a Seattle expansion franchise pop up. But the easiest targets right now, Phoenix and Dallas, I think are the two most likely. I think Vegas is an option, but it's a little, I don't know. There's something about Las Vegas. The A's are moving there now. They're going to get this is going to be their third major sports team. They're going to try and move a basketball team there eventually. There's a lot of rumblings about Vegas. I don't like the idea of a golf team in Las Vegas. At first, I didn't like the idea of honestly any sports teams in Las Vegas. It did seem like too much of a tourist city to make a team. But I mean, Vegas has a dedicated fan base, so I guess it works. But I feel like the Vegas sporting scene, with the exception of the Raiders, because the Raiders they're not directly like inside of the city, right? But Vegas, from what I've heard from friends who live out in that area, it's a lot like the New York Rangers, right? Like everyone's traveling to Manhattan for business, and the Rangers know they can sell out the Garden every single day. Same with the Knicks. And like, while the crowd is dedicated, there's still a bit of a touristy vibe to it, and like a upper echelon business class kind of feel to it. The same might kind of go towards Vegas if you were to bring particularly golf, a upper class sport to begin with, into the fold. Which
I do find it like the Vegas Golden Knights owner too, like has a lot of ownership on his portfolio too.
I mean, hey, like these guys have tons of money to throw around if they can afford to. If something happens,
along with the Golden Knights, he's the chairman of the board for Fidelity National Financial. He's an owner of Premier League squad AFC Bournemouth. He's an owner of Auckland FC. He's a shareholder of Hibernian, which is a football club in Scotland. and he's a majority owner of Whitefish Mountain Resort.
Interesting. Trying to see if there's more news on
his estimated net worth is $1.6 billion, according to Forbes.
It's actually insane. Let's see. Where are we? No, yeah, it's all the same stories. Unfortunately.
Hey, while we have a break in the action. Oh no, go ahead.
Also, there's just in terms of getting people in the door, executives who are owners or partners within the ownership groups of the Ravens, Lions, Vikings, New York Giants, Kraken, Maple Leafs, Rockies, and former owner of the Raptors have all been seen at TGL, perusing the grounds, talking to other executives, possibly trying to get in the door. A Canadian franchise would be nuts. Nick Taylor, Adam Hadwin, Corey Connors, just make an all-out Canadian team. And like I said, dude, look, you get Canadians on, you get the LPGA involved, you get Brooke Henderson in. All of a sudden, you have a full Canadian squad. That can go a long way for a league like this. You said we have breaking news. I'm seeing a text from you.
Yes.
What could this be?
A nice little quote from the aforementioned Brooks Koepka.
Yeah, no, a very rock solid quote. In an interview with Joe Pompliano, Brooks Koepka said Live Golf is behind where he should be. He said, quote, "We're 4 years in. It's just getting its feet wet and figuring out what direction they want it to go." Obviously, there's been a lot of change and hires of people within Live, and now having Scott Hansen involved. I think Scott's a great guy, and he can lead Live to where it needs to be and where I think it should be, because we are behind, to be quite fair. Behind where we should be, from bringing sponsors in to hitting the international market and the U.S. market. The new TV deal definitely helps. That's what Fox, but we need to take that and expand and grow it. We're not on Fox every time you play, so you've still got room to grow, but we've got the right people in charge now, and I'm excited to see where things go. I mean, this also just goes to show you the very minimal support and gravitas that Greg Norman bought with TGL. And it was clear that they needed a change of direction. And
you mean with
we
Liv?
got a new owner of Live Golf before we got Jay Monahan out of the commissioner seat.
Yeah, it was Scott O'Neill too. Is the
sorry?
Scott.
I don't know why I thought Scott Hansen. He's the guy from Red Zone.
Yeah.
Imagine him.
Imagine a Red Zone for TGL with Scott Hansen.
Red Zone for golf. Just like we go to the octo boxes, 9 guys putting on all different greens.
Where the drive on 18th becomes a win and the putt on 9 becomes a loss.
Absolutely.
Dude, what if Steph Curry ends up playing in the TGL when he retires from the NBA?
They're gonna do like a TGL Pro-Am probably. I could totally see that happening. They should do an event. And it would be wildly unfair because I know for a fact that some are definitely better than others. But to do like the owners of every group creates like a foursome and does like a celebrity and ownership TGL event, and you put it on TV.
Okay, so the known good golfers of the initial investors: Steph Curry. I'm pretty sure Iguodala is a pretty solid golfer, if not really good golfer. Dwayne Wade's very good. Mike Trout, Josh Allen. That's 5 right there at least.
I've never seen Lewis Hamilton golf. I have seen Lando Norris golf, and apparently he's really good.
Interesting.
Well, do you remember when Netflix did like that live?
Oh yeah, we did the live stream for it.
Full Swing meets Try to Survive. I mean, like, yeah, Lando was pretty damn good at golf. It was impressive. Who did he do that with? Was it Charles Leclerc or was it Carlos Sainz? It was one of the two. I know that for a fact. I believe it was one of the Ferrari guys. In which case, at the time, it was Leclerc, and he was racing alongside.
It was Lando and Ricky Fowler against Carlos Sainz and Justin Thomas.
All right, yeah, that's what I thought. Okay,
and then it was Alex Albon, Max Homa, and then Pierre Gasly and Tony Finau.
No, Pierre Gasly. What a train wreck that man is. Alex Albon and Carlos Sainz now teammates. Apparently, the PR push on Carlos Sainz has been like amazing. It's like a case study that like people are doing in schools now.
Yuki Tsunoda bumped up to the Red Bull too for Japan.
It's crazy, dude. Well, he's been on the second Red Bull team.
Well, no, he's on the like actual Red Bull like second car with Max Homa team wise for Japan.
You mean Max Verstappen
or Max Verstappen? Yeah.
Wasn't Liam Lawson bumped up or
got bumped down to Racing Bulls?
Oh wow, dude,
cinema.
Yeah, the thing.
Underground circuit. I'm sure they'll be talking all about that this week.
I haven't been keeping up nearly enough as I want to with my F1. I'm still like in disrepair that Daniel Ricciardo is no longer racing on the grid. That's the man who like got me into F1. Like the minute I watched Drive to Survive, I was like, Daniel Ricciardo is my guy. Like it's the same thing. Like when you like who was your first guy when you got into golf? It was like when this started back in 2021. Like you
initially like golf fandom overall, it was Ricky.
Yeah,
Ricky was my guy because like when I would watch golf with my dad, like he was the young kid wearing the vibrant colors, wearing the flat brim fitted hats. Like I was like, that's me if I was a golfer. Like he had the long hair. Like I've always loved Ricky Fowler. And then as we started doing the show, like Ricky was a mainstay, and then I've really gravitated towards Tony Finau a lot.
Yeah, I know you're a big Finau guy. You like Corey Connors.
That was big from the Masters event we did.
Yeah, I mean, like Finau is definitely a you and me guy, big time. I love Tony Finau. He's just fantastic. I'm trying to think like. I mean, like JT was a my guy from the start, but he had that really shaky 2023, and I sort of like fell out of love, and now he's back, but like I feel like an ass ditching him, and now like crawling back to him. It's like the old girlfriend that you re-fall in love with.
I like Will Zalatoris a lot. He was like my fandom for his was born out of this show for sure.
Yeah, definitely. My ultimate fandom will always lie with Bryson DeChambeau. Like a guy who, Brooke. Yeah, well, I mean, everyone likes Brooks when he's causing controversy and he's making things.
I just think Brooks is like one of those guys that, like, in a weird way, reminds me of like Jalen Hurts, where like he's more outspoken than Jalen Hurts is, and like way more like, for lack of a better term, like in your face. But like Brooks shows up when it matters. And to me, that's like really cool, especially in a sport like golf, where like the big events happen and it's like, oh, like Brooks is going to be in it until the end. And I think that's like championship mentality to me. And I respect the hell out of Brooks for that, where like when the big, marquee sign comes on for a massive event, Brooks's name is going to be at the top of the leaderboard every single time.
I mean, like, I don't want to compare him to like the Mambas of the world. That's for sure for Tiger, but Brooks Koepka has a different gear when the calendar turns, and like we're gonna see him at Augusta, and he's kind of fumbled his way through the beginning of the live golf season. Like he will be in contention, and it's almost a lock to be able to see him top 20 in contention and live going into the week. I mean, hey, he finished second in Singapore. Well, let's see what he's done so far this year. Brooks Koepka, where are we at? Yeah. He finished runner-up in Singapore. He finished 35th in Hong Kong, 7th in Adelaide, and 33rd in Riyadh. He plays the weekend before the Masters down in Miami, so that'll be a great tune-up at Doral at Trump. So we'll see what he does there. The last time we saw a live golfer play really well at an event just before the Masters, Phil Mickelson finished runner-up at Augusta. That was 2 years ago. So, like, anything is possible, as they say. By the way, New York up 2-0. Totally missed that one. Again, because my TV is 25 feet away and I can, like, barely make out anything. Chip in. Oh, so close. Billy Ho came about 2 inches.
Man, both teams are off, like not even that they're off, but like the ball is just like not taking like the direction it needs after the hit.
You know what's the one thing that I don't love about the TGL that I think they can improve on? I've been told that the green might be real grass, but like the fringe and the rough like around it or the fairway is turf. So it's challenging to like feel the ball flight and get a read for it. I think and the unfortunate reality is that you can't just like change the grass because of the contouring and everything. But if they were to make it like real grass and find a way to like have the layer underneath, have a layer of sand and then grass,
they gotta do something like the Arizona Cardinals do with their stadium, even though I don't ever want to give credit to that stadium because that grass cost us a Super Bowl. Fuck the sod father. But the way that they have like the grass like leave the stadium to like get treated and everything and then go back in.
It's just so hard to be able to like do that.
I also think one big win of the TGL is that they allow all the guys to just wear their sponsors.
I agree.
That is a huge marketing thing, not only for those companies, but I think it's enticing for those guys to say, hey, yeah, I'm going to play because like I don't have to, turn back on my sponsor or anything like that. And I can wear what I want and be comfortable. And as you all know, this company as a whole is a look good, feel good, play good podcast network.
I will say this though, I do wish they had a standardized like uniform, like wear the New York Golf Club shirt, like very similar to how they do it on Live. Like wear your New York Golf Club shirt, wear a New York Golf Club hat. You can have the Titleist logo or whatever logo, but like have the logo on the side. Like still have your team rep to some nth degree. So I think that would certainly be beneficial to just like kind of get like a uniformity. But we have a quick break in the action. We can take a short pause. I do want to mention one thing that's really important as we shout out the sponsors who are able to bring us this show and continue to keep getting the whole stronger and better than ever. And hopefully we can get them on for more of these live streams to come. But we already shouted out the guys over at Devereux. I want to now take the moment to shout out our other awesome brand sponsor, 47 brand. Just released a brand new line of golf hats. They have their new apparel out. Polo shirts are now getting into the mix at 47, I believe, in the works. Hopefully making more of a golf line. Would love to see 47 expand, but as the warm weather is almost here, and believe me, it's very close. I think Saturday we're going to get the first 70-degree day. Going to hit the golf course. Going to be amazing. That means golf is all the way back, and our partners at 47 brand have all the best headwear for your golf outing, from the vacation, rangefinder, mulligan, and milkwood styles for your favorite MLB teams, and the exclusive home for all of course your TGL headwear. Literally in the cart, sitting, waiting to purchase my New York Golf Club hat. Literally sitting there in my 47 cart, and I got it, and you can get it too with the link in our description to shop everything related to the game we love and get free shipping on all orders with our partners over at 47 brand. Again, free shipping on all orders when you use the link in our description here on the show, and get ready to hit the course, the range, or the clubhouse with 47 brand. Love those guys.
I'm hoping they release 47 brand like championship hat, because if that's the case, we will be doing a giveaway for sure of the championship gear. I also find it interesting that the official like TGL store has a New York Golf Club hat that is $5 more because it has NYGC like stitched on the side.
Yeah. Interesting. No, I mean, I think regardless, whoever wins, I think we do a giveaway of the hat of the champion.
Hopefully it's like champions. Yeah, that would be ideal.
I mean, you're probably not going to want to part with your one singular TGL poster.
Nah, that's going up down here somewhere. That's going next to the live getting the whole podcast poster.
Wow. So you stare at me and John all the time now?
I will be. I now have the frames. I just have to put everything up. Everything is in frames. The studio is going to look like an art gallery before.
John's actually probably on stream right now. He texted me. He goes, I don't know if you've watched a lot of TGL, but like I'm watching it for the first time, but it's freaking sick. And I'm like, it's funny. It's funny because we're literally streaming it as we speak right now, dude. And he's like, yo, send me that link. Johnny's been sending me links. He's like the only guy on earth that I know is still playing Fortnite. And I'm like, he'll send us his like.
Is he playing as Shohei Ohtani?
He'll send us his Twitch link. And like occasionally, like I'll be at work and I'll watch it, and I'm like, wait, this is actually like great content. Just like sit back and you just like you hear the pings and the keyboard clicks, and oh, it's so funny. I absolutely love it.
Funny.
Johnny texts me, I am watching with the skull.
The boy.
Oh my god. Should we get him in here? Should we invite him to hold on. I'm gonna invite this man.
Yo, we need to find. I'm gonna do that live here. I'm gonna LinkedIn search the TGL.
Dude, this man Johnny is like, yo, season 3 OG just dropped. Lucky Landing is back.
Let's go.
I don't know if you know this. Quick story about Johnny that I like. It's still the funniest thing of all time. I don't know why I didn't choose to do this, but the first and only ever Fortnite World Cup took place in Queens at the at Arthur Ashe Stadium, where they do the US Open. Also, he said he can't join. He's playing Fortnite.
So get down.
So I didn't go to the Fortnite World Cup, but Johnny bought my little brother. And Dylan,
I remember this.
And Dylan at the time was like no older than like 13 years old, maybe. And I think we were like sophomores in college. And I'll never forget, like Johnny just bought my brother to the Fortnite World Cup, and I still think it's the funniest thing of all time. And they watched the duos that they couldn't catch the singles, but I'll never forget the champion of the Fortnite World Cup was Booga, and he always lands at Lucky Landing. So honestly, I'm probably gonna hop on with Johnny afterwards and try and get a few games in. If my wife doesn't get upset with me that she went to ballet, she's on her way home right now, and in all likelihood, hopefully, knock on wood. That the New York Golf Club can hang on to win this match, and then we go to a decisive round 3, and it's just 2 more hours of this action. And
I just found all the big wigs of the TGL on LinkedIn, and I just sent connections to all of them.
Absolutely huge, tremendous stuff. Johnny goes, "Let's go." The boys hopping on. By the way, I haven't had dinner yet. I might have to turn this stream into a mukbang.
It wouldn't be a get in the whole podcast video if that
it truly wouldn't be, right? It really truly would not be.
Is it still in this one?
I mean, what? I believe there have been multiple instances that I have had some sort of a food review in the midst of a live stream.
Where is the thing here? It's gotta be. It's probably in here, actually.
God, I gotta figure out like what I'm gonna eat. I had some bomb ass burgers last night.
Bomb ass burgers.
Literally bomb ass burgers. My friend texted me Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, and Tommy Cutlets. What a quarterback room. Cutlets getting cut.
That's so funny.
I saw a report today, and I was talking about it at lunch with some coworkers, and I was like, apparently, like the Giants are going to try and get Russell Wilson and then draft a quarterback, not at 3, but in the second round or late first round and trade up. And the screenshot was of Jackson Dart, and then my friend goes, or Jalen Milroe, and I literally wanted to heave myself off the balcony when I just thought of the idea of Jalen Milroe being the rookie quarterback to be the future of the franchise.
Speaking of LinkedIn, I just got a confirmation of a connection with Jordan Green, who's a creative director and owner of the Walton brand, who he's like in addition to Walton, he's a freelance photographer and editor who has been trusted by clients such as Augusta National Golf Club, Pebble Beach Golf Links, the PGA Tour, the LPGA Tour, NBC Sports, and other companies, brands, and leagues.
Oh shit, that's big time.
Walton is a full-service creative studio helping brands in and around golf craft compelling and innovative brand experiences on and off the course.
So we're back on TGL. The scheduled team stuff is now over. We're on to hole 9. Or sorry,
the drone cam is fascinating to me.
We're 9 down. We're on to singles, which makes things insane. As of right now, according to the match win probability, New York 78% chance of winning the second round here to force the decisive number 3. On to hole 10. They call it Serpent, the par 5. 576 yards. New York leading right now 2-0 after a big hammer on the 8th hole to get us to where we are now. We'll see how things turn out, but we're a lot of stuff happening here. We have 9 holes left, or potentially less, depending on the match play style. But we are on to the singles.
Does the TGL trophy have a name?
Let's see.
Is it the SoFi Cup?
Yeah, the SoFi Cup.
Cool trophy.
Yeah, the LED is kind of sick. Do you think it's roadkill though that SoFi sponsors so much of this? SoFi Center, naming sponsor, name of the cup.
I get it because it's the place where it's happening.
I'm gonna be honest with you. They should name the cup after Tiger's mom, like a memorial cup.
Maybe they do an MVP or something like that.
That'd be nice.
Because money talks. Pretty soon we're gonna have the Lord Stanley's Cup presented by Fanatics.
Pepsi.
The PLL trophy is the Cash App Championship trophy.
That's actually kind of
it's
cool.
Really cool.
All right, let's see here. Shoffley, good drive. All right, let's KB, I think it's time. I think it's time we turn this show into a mukbang.
Wanna.
I am going to join the show via phone, and I'm going to maneuver myself into the kitchen for a little bit now in order to get some good grub. Let's see how I do this without compromising the rest of my setup.
Oh, Thursday backyard baseball's on mobile.
That's Amir Khan.
Go. Pablo is back.
That is actually amazing.
Okay, I just had this thought too, and I know a lot goes into the video game process. How cool would a TGL video game be?
It would be quite sick. Whoa.
There we go.
Thank you.
Oh, it's because you're on your phone and you
don't
have the...
No, you can just drag me.
Can you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's new. Fascinating development.
Should also, yeah, there you go. Mute myself from my screen so I don't hear myself double. JT in the bunker. All right, here we go.
How cool would a TGL video game be, though?
I mean, they already have the PGA video game. I feel like the next best thing would just be to add a TGL function into
that. Yeah.
Okay.
It'd be so cool. I would play the shit out of that.
I'll play the shit out of that, bro. All right. What is the dinner plans?
Also, I just had this thought for the podcast for next TGL season. We should do fantasy TGL.
I'm so game with that.
Where we draft our own team of 4 amongst the teams.
Mr. Bennett, here's the real question. Do I eat chicken nuggets? Do I eat a bacon, egg, and cheese? Or do I really rough it, not really have dinner, and just eat popcorn? Or toast?
What kind of chicken nuggets are we talking?
They're freezer nuggets. However, they are actually they're by no free ads. This brand called Just Bear, and they are basically the Chick-fil-A freezer nugget from Costco.
See, I don't have a Costco around here.
That's a sham.
Also, when you told me that your largest performing stock, and then I went and looked at the price of said stock, I almost shit myself.
Well, I also bought into it at like $200.
That's incredible.
I also bought into Spotify stock at like $150, and now it's like, yeah, it's the same song and dance. It's just actually like,
wow. Can I tell you what I bought into my lone Disney share at?
What?
$88.
What's that at now? Like 100 something?
101.
It's pretty good. Yeah, it's a solid growth stock. I cannot solicit any sort of advice.
This is not a financial advisory live stream.
If it were, there would be a problem at hand. Oh my goodness. Frick, what do I want to eat?
So I just saw that there's a TGL app, and I'm downloading it right now to kind of.
I truly don't know what I want to eat. This is really bad. I mean, honestly, I'm not even really that hungry. You know what? I'm just gonna have popcorn. I'm actually just gonna have popcorn, and I'm gonna rough it tonight, and I'm gonna have some chocolate milk later, and I'm gonna call it a day. Because you know what? Sometimes when you're really not hungry, why risk it? Question is, do you like burnt popcorn? Because I love burnt popcorn.
Depends on my mood. Can I give you a fun seasoning to put on top of popcorn? Old Bay on popcorn is delicious.
That's the most like I'm from Philadelphia thing or South Jersey shit you could ever tell me.
It's fantastic. You know what else is very good on popcorn, but it's like you got to be careful with it because you can almost over salt it because it is a salt-based product. Little adobo action.
I can see that.
It's very good.
I'm going to do adobo and a beer. No, sorry. Popcorn and a beer. What do you say?
TGL app. Let's see.
Actually, I'm not going to do a beer because I have no beer.
Until this weekend.
Oh my god.
Or this week.
I'm so ready to fill my ass up with Kenny. Can we go to a bar that serves Kenny?
Of course.
That's like the ultimate need.
Let's see.
Kenwood beer on tap.
I think the one they're like the guys who make Kenwood, the bar that they are always at. It's called Kellyanne's, I think.
Perfect. Sounds like my kind of bar already. Oh, the popcorn is popping. Let's go live to the microwave.
Pop, 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 pop.
Shout out to my boy Orville for providing me some good poop corn.
Okay, Fanta.
Did you see the one guy who's on BYU, who's like great grandfather invented tater tots, so he got sponsored by Orida.
I should have known to bet BYU when I saw that.
Stream. How was ballet? It was good. You got a good sweat in. Do you have like ballet slippers? Still, I didn't know. Do you want to say hi to the stream world? Okay, never mind. Are you wearing a leotard?
Yeah, of course I am.
I haven't seen you ever wear a leotard. That's crazy.
Never? Really?
No, never. Oh. I don't think I've ever seen you do ballet. Can I see
My arms are much fatter than
Stop. Don't say that. That's horrible. Was that some popcorn?
No.
I should have asked you to get me a soda. I can really go for a Coke Zero right now. Like fiending for one. The key to popcorn, you put it on the popcorn function, and you add 30 more seconds. So you get a slight crisp and a burn.
Steve, I just had a genius idea for Thursday.
Talk to me.
We're
getting Angelo's, right?
I was, that's lunchtime shenanigans. But I was thinking, because obviously, like, madness and everything is going on, it's a golf day. Do we book a 5-iron golf?
That certainly is a tempting thought. What is it like?
I'm looking now.
Actually, it would be great practice for me to get, because of my fitting on Friday. It would be the last round, the last time that I'll play golf with my old golf clubs. Crazy.
I think the elastic in my favorite leotard dried up.
It's dried out? Tough.
Wait.
Oh, God.
Yeah. This is my favorite leotard. I've had it since 9th grade.
9th grade? Oh, my God, Kay.
Still fits?
Well, yeah, so does the 4th grade field day shirt you have.
All right, that was for extra large.
Tonight's shirt, you'll grow into it. I know. And of course, what's good popcorn if you don't salt it?
Very true.
Let's go. Ah! What? Alright, so popcorn's acquired. A little more salt. And now we head back to the cave. Okay, I have bad news for you. I need that TV on. All right, great.
New York is up 3-0.
Huge, absolutely huge. All right, hold on. Let's
bang. I also didn't realize how expensive 5-iron was at certain hours. Oh, you're muted from before. Hold on. There we go.
What is it like 50 an hour?
Depending on the time, what time would we expect to?
I mean, media is probably going to be like 3 hours.
Right.
So, I don't know, 2 o'clock, like 3.
Well, that would be lunchtime. But I was saying for us, like during the March Madness game, the early one.
Oh wait, like no, later.
Yeah, for some dins.
Would definitely be quite expensive.
Yeah. Because for an hour during that first game, which I think is what 7:39 is.
I'm gonna probably want to get home by like 9. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
This popcorn fucks.
If only you could stay overnight, because the time starting at 9 o'clock are mint.
Unfortunately, yeah,
the 9 o'clock is the time to go for 5-iron, because 2 hours is $50.
It's crazy. You know, like it's usually like 50 for an hour. Unfortunately, no. Yeah, I'm getting fitted on Friday, so I got to go home, get a good night's sleep. I'm probably gonna take my lunch break on Friday and go to the range and just have maybe like 30 balls just to get a feel, and go from there. It's probably gonna be the play for me.
Breaking news: Damian Lillard has developed a deep vein thrombosis, also known as a blood clot, in his right calf. He's out indefinitely.
Mm-hmm. That's wild. So, match update. Like we said, we're on the 11th hole. New York up 3-0. Big thing, though, in the second half to look out for in singles. Atlanta still has all 3 of their hammers. So a big opportunity to gain back some big time points for Atlanta if they can capitalize.
And for anybody that's new to the TGL,
Cantlay. Oh, it's going to roll back a little bit. That's going to roll. That's a great roll. Wow, Cantlay pins it to within 3 feet. That's crazy.
Anybody new to the TGL, a hammer allows you to increase the point value of a hole. And you get 3.
I believe right here might be a hammer. Yes, it will be. There goes the hammer. So Cantlay's got a putt for about 3 feet. Cameron Young here is going to have a putt for about probably 7 or 8 feet. Cameron Young needs to hit. If Atlanta can win the hole, Cantlay wins the hole.
New York declined the hammer.
I think it's dumb how you can decline the hammer.
Yeah, I don't get how that works.
Well,
it's 3-1 now.
Oh, if you decline the hammer, you concede the point.
It would also be really cool if they changed it from being a flag to an actual rubber hammer.
They should have the hammer, and you break the plexiglass and you slam the button. Oh no! The hammer, Mjolnir.
This is one of the greatest purchases I've ever made. Whenever I do high school basketball broadcasts and someone drops down a shot that gets the place going, I'm like, oh, and he drops the hammer.
You're like the kid who called the buzzer beater.
Great interview coming up on Underground Sports Philadelphia on Thursday. Shout out to Tyler.
All right, so apologies. I'm uneducated on the art of TGL. I believe if the hammer is thrown, you concede the point. Do you still putt out, though, as is, in order to get the second point? I could be wrong. I don't know.
Let me see. So the hammer's game up. When a hammer is played and accepted, the value of the hole would now be 2 points. If another hammer is played and accepted, the value of the hole is 3 points. If you decline if the opposing team declines, the hole is immediately conceded, and the points are awarded to the team that threw the hammer.
All right, yeah. So 3-1.
And a hammer can be thrown anytime prior to a player addressing the ball.
2 hammers to go for Atlanta. My PT friend is saying, how is it possible that Dame got a deep vein thrombosis? I'm no doctor, so I honestly don't know.
That shit's scary, though. Hopefully he gets that taken care of.
Yeah. I also appreciate how ESPN brought on other personalities in the golf world to do the matches. Like Claire Rogers is currently doing a interview with Billy Horschel's family. Like those things really make, I think, a big difference when you can also get folks who know a lot about golf. Aside from, like, of course, like Marty Smith is great, but to have some other folks involved as well in the golf community, I think is a really special thing to have. All right. We are almost back. The win probability up to 83% for the New York Golf Club. We got a par 4, 464 yards. They call this one straight up. 4 holes to play in this one. We'll see how things go. This is crazy. Schauffele versus JT.
Yeah, I'm fascinated by like these massive sponsors that TGL has.
I mean, it makes sense.
100%. It's just like wild that like some of them you don't traditionally see in the sports world. Like Best Buy, like I don't remember the last time Best Buy had like a massive like corporate sponsorship like that.
That's true. An almost perfect shot for JT. He's only about like 140 to the pin now.
Yeah, so their partners, SoFi, Business Solver, Genesis, and Best Buy. AG1, which is Athletic Greens, CapTech, FanDuel, FedEx, Full Swing, Hard Rock, Verizon, KPMG, MasterCard, Monster Energy, One Flight, Palm Beach State College, Samsung, Sin Lawn, UKG, PGA Superstore, and then Levelware is the apparel provider. Fascinating.
All right, so Xander's got 158 left to the hole. He's a little bit further out than JT is. Carlton pumped. All right, Xander.
Do they sell actively like tickets to these events?
What's that?
Do they actively like sell tickets to the TGL events?
I've looked, and they're basically all like sold out.
I figured as much.
Oh, Xander finds the bunker. That's huge for Atlanta if JT could pin one close.
Wow. Tickets
Yep.
are expensive.
Oh, hammer throw for Atlanta. This is big. All right, so yeah, this is a really tough spot. JT hasn't taken his approach shot yet. If you decline the hammer, you give up the point, or if you accept it, oh, a very gutsy call. They've declined the hammer, and JT won't even hit his approach shot. They'll just take the point and go down only 1 point now. With only 3 to play. I don't know how I feel about this move.
So very fitting that Atlanta is just dominates with the hammer.
Yeah. This is crazy. So in declining the hammer here, they can see the point. We're only down by 1 now. There's still 1 hammer on both sides to go. But what would you do in this case, right? JT hasn't even taken his approach shot. You know Xander's going to go out of the bunker. Xander has been nursing that rib injury, and he claims he's healthy. But let's be honest, probably still is irking him a little bit. Would you, in this case, have declined the hammer as well?
Yes. Looking at like what is to come, because there's 2 holes, because it's 15 holes.
Yeah. 16 holes.
16. So you have 3 left with 1 hammer each. I think it's smart to do it here because you can still play your hammer. They can then play theirs, and then it becomes a 3-point hole.
Yeah.
I think it was smart to do it. Now, I could
My
be
only concern is
be completely wrong once everything unfolds, but with the potential for a 3-point hole still in play, which could essentially win you the game.
Yeah, true. So my concern here is the 14th hole, par 3, 135. Final hole is a par 5. So, and a gettable one. It's only 554 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Ricky here needs a good shot. To make it a game. Oh, and Ricky also found the bunker. Oh, my God. So now Ricky in the bunker. Oh, this is so rough. Horschel's a little bit long, but is on the green.
Also, for what it's worth, Steve, so you don't have to like look 30 feet ahead, you can watch it on the TGL website.
I am, but it's ahead a little bit.
Oh.
And also, you can't see it live. You're only seeing the shots on the screen.
Oh, gutsy.
And there goes the hammer.
Gutsy.
JT running behind all
Absolute
3 of them.
Scenes. Yo, Arthur Blank is in his glory. They just cut to him and he is like with his AirPods and all.
The question is, do you concede here too? Let's say. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think in this case you reject the hammer and you go all out in the final hole.
Ooh.
Timeout taken. Oh man.
Yeah, because it's like, because if they make this, they take a lead.
Here's the thing, right? Short side bunker shot. And the hammer's accepted. Oh, shit. And here we go. All right, Rick. That's a great chip.
Wow.
Rookie pins it to like
wow. That's clutch.
It all comes down to Billy. And also, New York does have the hammer.
Right.
If they go down.
That shot jumped it from being about a 54 to 45% New York winning the hole to almost 72% now to New York winning.
Yeah.
He nailed it. What a shot.
William Horschel. Oh my God.
Scenes.
What a shot.
Scenes.
4-3 Atlanta. Wow.
Scenes.
You can't script it any better than that. Oh, and the embrace from Billy and Ricky. Ricky knew that was what a shot. What?
Almost 18-foot putt.
And he nailed it, dude, right down the middle, too.
Woo! That broke perfectly right near the cup, too.
On the slope and everything, that's right down the middle.
Scenes. I gotta tweet that.
Now, we know we're gonna get a hammer here, probably from New York. The question is, oh man. And who'd have thought the possible savior for New York Golf Club? It all comes down to Cameron Young. KB, if you can live bet this right now, I would just take Atlanta to win it.
So unfortunately, you can't. I can't do it here for some reason. Oh, so the hammer has to be accepted and has to be played. If New York wins the hole, they win the match.
Huge. Now, you know, like, this is compelling, right?
Good stat there. Cam Young reached the green in, what did it say? Hold on. It said he reached the green
in two
in the first match.
So here's the thing, right? Let's just look at this from a current form standpoint, right? And it doesn't take a genius to be able to point out the form that both of these guys are in to date, right?
Mm-hmm.
Patrick Cantlay, over his last, dating back to the century, he's averaging over 2 strokes gained. He's one of the best players on the PGA Tour in strokes gained approach, strokes gained around the green. He finished 12th at the Players' Championship, 5th at the Genesis, and 5th at the American Express. His 3 best finishes of the year. Cameron Young, on the other hand, and this is where it really gets crazy, has missed 4 of the last 5 cuts and finished 61st at the Players. He has not had a top 15 finish since the Waste Management, and outside of that, he only has 2 top 15s the entire year. He's missed 5 cuts, finished 61st, 72nd, 8th, and 12th the whole year. And he is losing strokes in most places. Now, he's one of the best drivers of the ball, but he's been one of the worst approach and putting players. He's below average in driving accuracy and approach play this year. It has not been a good start for Cameron Young. On form alone, Patrick Cantlay should dominate this hole.
PGA Tour just tweeted the clip and said, Atlanta Sportsman all-time power rankings argue with the wall. Number 5, Chipper Jones. Number 4, Michael Vick. Number 3, Dominique Wilkins. Number 2, Hank Aaron. Number 1, Billy Horschel.
That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT.
And Stinger Golf tweeted Billy Horschel does it again. It's the "Who do you think you are? I am" clip.
All right, so Cameron Young, Cantlay shot it left of the green, so he's off the green. If Cameron Young can pot this on the green, that's immense. So Young's also off to the left, but he's closer to the pin than Cantlay is. He's in a good spot. It's all, dude, this whole thing comes back to the up and down, right? Around the green, strokes gained around the green. Patrick Cantlay, one of the best players on tour. Let's see what the stats are currently around the green in players in playability so far this year, according to PGAtour.com. According to PGAtour.com, Patrick Cantlay is the 43rd ranked player on the PGA Tour in strokes gained around the green, gaining total strokes gained around the green 4.9 strokes. Cam Young well behind, and Cantlay puts it to within a foot.
Hachi Machi.
Cameron Young is losing 2.8 strokes on average around the green. This is a chip that you absolutely need to hit. Now, basically, let's be honest. He has to jar it to win.
Yep.
If Cameron Young misses this shot, Atlanta's your champion. I don't think you could have hit a better golf shot than Patrick Cantlay did.
That was absurd. But imagine,
Young, again, losing over almost 3 strokes per match around the green. Can he pot the biggest putt, the biggest chip in the TGL this year?
Oh, I mean, it's in his name. He can't lay.
Death, taxes. Cameron Young can't close.
Wow.
I feel like a Mets fan. This is depression.
Feel like you are one.
Trade Cameron Young. Get Juan Soto up in here. That's crazy.
Wow.
Atlanta Drive, your inaugural SoFi Cup champions of the TGL. Insane.
Hey, you can never say Justin Thomas has never won.
What do you think ranks higher, Justin Thomas's 2 PGA championships or his SoFi Cup?
Hell of a bounce back from his second place finish last weekend. Damn. I was hoping for a game 3.
So was I, but what are you going to do? You know, I will say this, though. Again, like on form alone, the Atlanta team was just in better form. Horschel's been playing really well. Cantlay's been playing great. JT, another runner-up finish so far this year. Cam's been rough. Fitzpatrick's been rough. Xander battling that injury. Ricky's been on and off the grid for the last 3 years. This was Atlanta's to lose, and they're one of the best teams throwing the hammer. They had a skill set this year that was bar none better than everybody else in the field, and it showed. Atlanta certainly deserves this first win. This has been a great year one of the TGL. Watching almost every weekend, getting to see some of the best players in the world tee it up on a course that's totally different than anything else we've seen in professional sports. This has been tremendous.
Billy Horschel's 18-foot putt to give Atlanta the lead on 14 was his longest made this TGL season, according to Justin Ray.
Question is it his longest made putt of the year, period? Might be the most
what a
shot of the year.
When we do the Get in the Hole awards, that's got to go into the nominee for shot of the year.
I think it does. You know what?
That was very on brand. He got in the hole.
We need to write it down now.
I'll make a Google sheet.
Wow, that's insane. I mean, honestly, I will say this. While Horschel's putt was incredibly clutch, Cantlay's chip might have been even bigger.
Yeah, that was unreal.
Just to close it out and clinch it, and from a worse lie angle than Cameron Young had it. I think both of those might go into shot of the year candies. And it's very rare, dude. You know, you're a movie guy, you're a TV guy. It's very rare that you see an Emmy or an Oscar have 2 nominees from the same show or movie. We just watched a big time movie here tonight.
That was huge.
I guess that means we wrap up here, unfortunately. After 2 incredible hours.
We're putting Billy Ho's TGL shot and then
Cantlay's closeout chip to within a foot. I think those 2 go up there currently for shot of the year. That's crazy. So KB, what do you say?
Fantastic scenes. Genuinely, just from us doing this, I think this is so good for the Get in the Hole brand to do these live watch-alongs for the TGL, because it is such a condensed season of golf, quote unquote. TGL, let's work together. Because number one, me as the founder of this company, I'm a huge fan of your company. Let's do some things. That was so much fun to just watch and banter and
that was.
It's not something that you need play by play for in this format. We can shoot the shit and react, and I think this is something that we're gonna keep doing once the TGL comes back. I mean, we talked about it earlier. What a great season for as Caleb Presley just comes on my television.
That long-haired god.
What a great first year for an inaugural sports league of its kind. Phenomenal moments, great players in the league itself, and literally you couldn't script it better. You got a signature moment in your championship.
Literally.
That is perfect for a league like this, to have that Billy Horschel's reaction to the shot. That photo is going to go nuclear. I can't wait to see Art But Make It Sports turn that thing into a masterpiece. Like, that was an awesome championship. And I think it's cool to have the championship spread out, game 1, game 2, back-to-back nights. I like that format. I'm excited for the future to hopefully get a game 3 in one of these championships. That was awesome.
I think,
was sick.
Again, this is a great starting point. And we've seen all the typical hiccups that you see from year 1 of a league, right? We mentioned it multiple times on this show. The divot getting picked up over the golf shot, sailing greens. But if you've noticed, week in and week out, the tech has gotten better. They've updated. They've worked on things. We know it's not going to be perfect in those first few weeks. Even the first 2 months. 12 weeks of golf, playoff matches. We get some incredible finals golf. And I'll say this, like, whether it be expansion, a new stadium in the coming years, new people getting involved, new investors, whatever it might be. Like we said, leagues die in far less than a year. We've had one league launch, and 4 months later, here we are at the end, 3 months later, at the end of March, to be able to say that TGL was a success in year 1. And I'm very much looking forward to seeing what will come. Again, I would love to see, the only thing is just finding one specified time and date every Monday, every Tuesday, 9 p.m. TGL. If you have both, great, even better. You can have one match each day. But you need to lock in. And like they've been doing, leverage President's Day. President's Day is the TGL day. They had a 1, a 3, and a 5, or a 3, a 5, and like, perfect. That's what we need. I think the TGL's got a lot of potential here.
That's literally, like, President's Weekend needs to be the thing because it's right after the Super Bowl as well. And even when the Super Bowl gets bumped in a couple of years to being on President's Sunday, like, then you have the lead in the day after.
Exactly.
And it's very much like every sports league, like, has their day. Like, the NBA has Christmas, NFL has Thanksgiving, baseball has 4th of July and Memorial Day in some aspects.
Yep.
Make this your holiday.
The important thing too to note about TGL before we wrap up here and we get going, I think what's really important about what makes a sport unique and what makes them interesting, and we talked about it with the NFL in the past. Everyone talks about how the NFL, they constantly keep you engaged. The NBA is the same thing, right? The NFL, while a season might be preseasons in August, you run all the way to February. Then it's immediately draft coverage, and then it's the draft, and then it's mini camps, and then it's the free agency, the combine. There's all these things that make the NFL in your peripheral 24/7, 365, and the entire year is the NFL. The NBA does the same thing. The MLB sucks at draft coverage because it's in the middle of the season. They don't dedicate time to it. It's hard to follow prospects. The TGL, while, yes, happening mid-season, the average golf fan might not be watching the Houston Open this weekend. The average golf fan might not be watching the Amex or the Cognizant Classic or some other event in the middle of February. Hell, they might barely even watch Bay Hill and the Players and the Genesis and Pebble and the signature events that go on week in and week out on the PGA Tour. This, though, acting as the lead-in to major season, is immense. And like you said, when the NFL moves to President's Weekend, it's going to push this back another week. If the final event of the TGL season is the week before the Masters, I understand it might take away some coverage from the Valero, but you're still going to get the perfect lead-in to the biggest part of the golf schedule from now April through August. We have the best golfers in the world. Each of the 4 majors, the Tour Championship, this is the peak. And to be able to have this follow into it, it just keeps more eyes and interest in the golf game. I would also love to see TGL make a comeback in the fall. And I understand it'll be tough because, of course, the football's happening.
Mm-hmm.
But again, if you solidify Tuesdays at 9 p.m. as your day, during the fall series when these guys aren't playing golf and commit themselves to TGL, that would be huge.
And on top of that, too, like to piggyback off of that, like, yeah, the fall, like you have football and everything, but also you're on ESPN. Number one, the only thing that they have going on during football season is obviously Monday Night Football. You would have that. But on top of that, you have ESPN Plus, which has instant replay for everything. You can go back and watch it. And two, you have ESPN Plus to have, Tuesdays. Like if you want to have the fall exclusively on ESPN Plus, you can do that. And it's your fall swing. And the real dedicated fans will watch it who have ESPN Plus. I think if you can pin out a season here and then like an early fall, like September, October.
Yep.
And then you go, because this season started January, right?
Immediately after the college football playoff.
So like you go January to March, and then you have like October to, I don't know, December 1st or something, or you find something that works. Or even if it's, no, you know what it is, Steve? You go like mid-September to Black Friday.
Exactly, yeah. I agree. And again, solidify Tuesday. Make it your day. And that would honestly work great, right? Even maybe you make Mondays your in-season, because like Tuesdays you don't want to get in the way of guys traveling to tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
Mondays is your day. Monday and Tuesday is your day from January through March, and then Tuesday is your day during the football season. You can watch Monday Night Football. Tuesday, what else is going on? They're not showing hockey that often, basketball. So it's golf's time to shine. Continue and shed a light on it and keep it going. And I think that's really going to be a huge boost for the brand moving forward.
Two fun things here before we do actually sign off. Smart Pin just liked our tweet, which is the official flag stick technology of the TGL. Number two, from Jason Sobel, wanted your thoughts on this. Billy Ho for MVP, put him on the Ryder Cup team.
Too early to tell. Has been playing well the last 3 weeks. He's going to need a good year, but I think he'd be a compelling captain's pick considering the people who have been on the team as captain's picks in the past. If Keegan's not a player coach, I don't think Spieth makes it. I don't think Ricky makes it. I think there's going to be a spot dedicated to Sahith Theegala. I think there's going to be a spot dedicated to Akshay Bhatia potentially. And if they have a third spot that's available, depending on how the dominoes fall, Billy Horschel is a veteran guy in the room, would be huge.
Billy Horschel, also fun stat, led all players in the TGL with single points won with 13.
It's interesting. I don't remember them talking about this, but Keegan Bradley was on the broadcast with SVP today. I wonder if they do weigh singles matches in a simulator to kind of be like, all right, it's different, but you could still potentially have in a match style a similar outcome on a golf course in real life as you would in this instance. Could very well see some guys get some additional looks because of their performance in match play, because you don't see it on tour. They got rid of the Dell match play. They have the duos at the Zurich, but they don't have really anything else for it. I think that's a really good opportunity for them to be able to tap into a great audience.
Championship merch has dropped.
Really? I gotta check it out now.
There's a hat and there's shirts.
Sounds to me like we're doing a giveaway, my friend.
Let me make sure here. The shirt's pretty fire. I will share my screen.
Please do. Here, I'll help you out with the overlay.
Shirt's pretty fire, not gonna lie.
Where can you view this on?
It is the official TGL store on their website.
Like through Fanatics?
Yeah. Here's the shirt.
Give it to me.
Boom.
Immediately saw the logo and I thought Alabama football.
I did too.
That's actually hilarious. That's a sick shirt.
Pretty sick.
That's dope. Damn.
That's fire. Dang, they got confetti and everything.
They have long sleeves. They got short. They got girls' tank tops. They got infant bodysuits.
They got everything.
They got everything for
hoodies.
Atlanta Drive. That's crazy.
I need them to drop the 47 brand champion hat, though.
True that. However, if it looks anything like the new era.
I don't know, I know New Era acquired 47 brand, like they're under New Era's umbrella, but their styles are very different still too. Like New Era, that is a New Era style hat. Like if you showed me that without a sticker on it, I would say New Era.
Yeah, this gives college football playoff championship.
Yeah, 100%.
100%.
But I think Atlanta TGL hat that needs to drop and needs to be in the storefront. That'd be fire.
Well, hopefully they drop that so we can do a dope giveaway.
With 47.
If not, I'm sure we still will. But it'll be great to have 47 involved in that one, as well as one of our top sponsors.
Yeah, we'll have an announcement on the giveaway on social either tomorrow or Thursday. We might do an in-person announcement there for it on Thursday. But hey, congrats to Atlanta. Like they'll always be remembered as the inaugural champions. And I think that's also very cool.
We got a Patrick Cantlay TGL championship before he got a major.
That's sick.
I'm tweeting that.
That's good. That's good. Lucas Glover, like he's the one that didn't do anything for the group project, but still gets an A.
Bro didn't do nothing for the group. That's absolutely amazing.
Wait, who was it? It was I have the perfect.
Wait, they don't love you like I love you.
Where did you tweet yours from?
Again, the whole account.
Okay, because I have the perfect tweet to put from there too.
What? Lucas Glover in the project?
It's. I'm gonna tweet the picture of Tyrese Halliburton with his gold medal. When he tweeted, when he ain't do nothing on the group project but still get an A.
I need the three kids debating like
oh yeah.
So how does this define Cantlay's legacy? Is Fortnite actually overrated? Chat, let me know. Oh, that's absolutely great. All right, KB, let's hit the road for the people. I want to give a shout out to all of our viewers who have tapped in on this awesome live stream to get some sweet reactions, live thoughts, and analysis from the TGL final, the Atlanta Drive upsets. Not even really upsets, but comeback win over the New York Golf Club to claim the first SoFi Cup 6-3 in the final. They sweep the 2-0 finals set. And man, was it an absolutely great one. Hoping for great new things from the TGL soon for next season. Really excited to see how things go. Shout out to our partners at 47 and Devereux for keeping us on board and constantly growing the golf brand, both culturally and just in the sports world, impacting everybody. keeping us looking fresh and dope as we put on these live streams.
Yeah, and if you were watching tonight, you want to react, the voicemail line is active. The Judy Mack voicemail line. We'll tweet it out and everything. Speakpipe.com/getintheholepod. Leave us a voicemail. Let us know your thoughts on the TGL season as a whole. Atlanta winning, Billy Horschel shot. Want to hear from you guys. I'm sure Steve will blast it out to all the people as well. Live voicemail.
Oh, just wait.
Hi.
Hey, Ma.
What's up?
Ma, Atlanta Drive won the TGL championship. What do you got to say?
Atlanta, they won the what championship?
The Atlanta Drive won the first TGL championship in golf. What do you want to say to the listeners about their win?
Wonderful. Well, am I in podcast land?
Of course you are.
Wonderful. Congratulations that they won. That's great.
Yeah. You want to say congrats to Justin Thomas and Patrick Cantlay and Billy Horschel and Lucas Glover?
Shout out to all those guys. Great job.
Great stuff from Atlanta Drive.
Are you happy with it?
Well, they beat the New York team, so I can't be that happy.
Well, if you're happy with it, I'm happy with it.
All right. Well, there you go. Judy Mack's happy. The Judy Mack voicemail line is now available on the underground. You can get involved in that one. You can leave Judy all the voicemails. Just say bye to the crowd, Judy.
Bye, everybody. Have a good night. Love you.
There you go. Judy Mack, the one and only.
Now I got to clip that, and that we'll make like an intro video for when we play voicemails, and it'll say, bye, everyone. Love you. And that's when we cut to the voicemails.
My favorite thing is I follow this guy and his whole thing on social. He's like a content creator with like style, but also like he's now a new dad. His whole thing is hope you enjoyed the video. Love you. Bye. And I think it's like perfect. It's the most like I'm a dad and I don't care how anybody approaches this. I just love you. Bye.
That's incredible.
We're gonna start doing that now with Judy. So yeah, now awesome show. Shout out to our sponsors. 66 viewers right now. That's amazing. Absolutely awesome
platform.
Stuff.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, absolutely awesome stuff to be able to get even more folks. And unfortunately, a little too soon, too late for some jumping in late. But an awesome opening SoFi Cup championship. Atlanta upsets New York or takes down New York. Can't even call it an upset. New York was theirs to lose.
Hell of a championship. And I hope this is just the beginning for the TGL.
Absolutely. You want to give the official outro?
Subscribe to the pod. New episode will be dropping very, very soon. And Steve and I will be in person on Thursday. So be ready for just Boys Day. Boys Day on all the socials. It's going to be a blast. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. YouTube.com/@undergroundsportsphiladelphia. And we'll see you Thursday from Truist Championship Media Day.
Thursday morning, are we doing the vlog with the face wash bath and the journal writing and everything?
I gotta get my glass bottle of water and my banana peels.
We gotta get our Saratoga.
I gotta write in my first page of my journal at 4:30 in the morning.
just the S from school. Oh, absolutely impeccable. I love it. Yeah, Thursday, Boys Day, live from the Truist. We'll have Media Day, possibly a trip to 5-iron golf, some Angelos in the plan, and of course, Kenwood beer, because how could we not do that when we're out in Philly? So stay on the lookout for that episode dropping soon. Another great show with me and KB breaking down all the stuff going on in the golf world, talking about who's hot and who's not going in major season. We're only 3 weeks in the Masters, man. TGL is a great lead-in to what we got coming up with some great, awesome content in the golf world. So kick it with the underground and be sure to follow us at Getting the Whole Pod, all socials, accounts, and of course, right here, Underground Sports. If you're already viewing and you haven't followed, subscribed, liked, 5-star rating, a whole 9, be sure to leave it with us and continue to support us because we love you. And on that note, well, you bye. The hammer.